everybody! Today I have decided to do something that I've never done before. I am going to pressure can chicken. We have 100 chicks up in our garage brooder right now. I've never canned chicken and we won't have enough room in the freezers for all of that chicken. So I did something I haven't done in a long time, and I went to Aldi and I bought chicken. It was weird. It's like when you have to buy eggs when you have chickens, that's weird feeling too. But anyway, I bought some chicken because I think we only have maybe two or three frozen whole birds left in the freezer. And this is an experiment since I've never done it before. I want to see how it is, see how it tastes. From what I understand, it's pretty much like a convenience food. It's completely cooked after it's done canning. You put it in the jars raw. You can add a little salt or seasonings, and you can use it in chicken salad, soups, stews. You can pull it apart, shred it, add some taco seasoning, barbecue sauce, pretty much anything you can think of that you would use chicken for. So that's the experiment today. I'm going to see if we like the texture of canned chicken before we put forth a whole lot of effort and time into canning most of our meat birds in October. We want to make sure that we're going to like it first. So I thought I'd bring you along in my kitchen today and we'll see how it works. So I cubed up all of my chicken, and for this experiment I'm going to keep the chicken thighs and the chicken breasts separate. In the future, if this works and it's something we want to do, then I'm sure that we'll mix them up. But right now I just want to see if one texture ends up being better than the other. So I have my jars over here set up. I am not sure how many jars we're going to get. From what I understand, these pint jars each hold about a pound of chicken. So I'm hoping to get 2 jars of the thighs and 3 or 4 jars of the breasts. Whew, I'm stuck. Okay. Is that going to happen? I don't know. That is not as full as it could be, but put some in this jar. Get over there. So I'm just going to fill up these jars as best as I can and see how many we get. My jars are packed. I have 2 thighs and 4 breasts. Now I'm just going to take my little vinegar dipping bowl and a clean cloth, and then you just run it around the rim just to make sure that there's nothing there that's going to prevent you from getting a good seal. And I'm just turning my rag to a new spot with every jar. And this is a good way too to make sure that you're checking the rims for any nicks or anything like that. I usually do that before I put food in there, but it's just kind of a second check. Oh, I forgot to put a little salt in. I wanted to put a little salt in each one, so I will do that as soon as I'm done cleaning off these rims. And And from what I understand, again, this is all new to me, you leave an inch and a quarter head space. So there's a little chicken left over that I'm going to just quick fry up in a pan and throw it on top of salads or something later. So I'm going to get my salt and put a little salt in here and get the lids on. So I'm just going to put about a half a teaspoon of salt in each jar. This is Redmond's real salt. It's pretty strong. I mean, you don't need a lot of it to accomplish what you would like to accomplish. Got my salt in there. I'm going to grab my water kettle. This is going to make its own broth. You don't really usually even have to add water, but several people said that even though it's safe, most of the time it doesn't make enough broth to completely cover the chicken, and it just doesn't look nice. So from what I've seen and read, everybody boils a little bit of water. Not everyone, whoever decides to do it, and they put in about a half an inch of water or so at the bottom of the jar, and then that helps there to be enough liquid to completely cover the chicken. Just popping lids on. Oop. And I'm going to get my rings. Now I'm trying to do this one-handed, but you basically put the ring on, and then two-handed, you hold the jar with one hand and you use your other hand, and you just turn this ring with your fingertips. You do not crank it all the way around with your wrist. It's just fingertip tight. If you tighten it too much, the jars could leak, crack, who knows what. So you be gentle. Not too gentle, but gentle. Since my jars are raw packed and they are not warm or hot, then I did not start my pot ahead of time either. If you put a cold jar in hot water or vice versa, something is going to happen. And odds are you're going to have a jar that cracks. So I'm putting my jars in. I'm going to put on the lid, and then I'm going to turn it on and let it do its thing. This is a pressure canner. You always have to pressure can meat and low acid foods. Okay, 6 jars ready for their spa day. Lid's on, stovetop is on, and now we wait. We have to wait for steam to start coming out of this pipe, and once it's steaming out of that pipe for about 10 minutes, then we're going to put on the weight, and that is when the pot will start building up pressure. My elevation is 652, I think, and for elevations up to 2000, you do 11 pounds of pressure. I'm not sure what you do after that. I think anywhere 2000 to a certain number up from there, you do 15 pounds of pressure. And after that, I just don't know. So we'll be back when this starts doing its thing. The pressure canner has been venting steam for about 10 minutes. So I'm just going to put on the lid, the weight, and then it will start to build up pressure. I'm also just giving a quick stir fry to that little bit of leftover chicken that just wouldn't fit. So the hubby can have that on his lunch salad or something tomorrow. I just put some smoked paprika in there, a little bit of olive oil, and some shawarma seasoning. "75 minutes later." 75 minutes, an hour and 15 minutes when you are canning pint-size jars of meat. So we are going to carefully open the canner one-handed. And I am going to try, honey, unless you want to pull the lid off and just face it away from you so that we don't get burned, and carefully put it somewhere where it's not going to drip on our toes. Thank you very much. Wonderful. Thank you for your assistance. So here we are. Gonna pull these out. My first time canning meat. Yum. That actually looks really yummy. Still bubbling away. That little ping noise means that the jars are sealing. So they made their own broth. That's yummy chicken broth in there. I do believe the first 2 jars I took out were the thigh meat, and the other 4 are the chicken breasts, obviously. So what we do now is we don't touch these, and we let them sit for 12 plus hours until they completely cool down. Then we will take the rings off, and we will test to make sure that the seals are good. Give them a little wipe down with some vinegar, label them, and put them on the shelf. And then we have shelf-stable chicken. I'm excited. All right. Toodaloo for now.